All right.
All right. How are you doing? How's your day been?
I'm doing great. My day has actually been really great too. I didn't get up and do the things I wanted to,
Yeah.
but I pivoted and just basically took it as a relaxing R&R moment. So
Nice. Hell yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah. How's your weekend been so far?
My weekend, surprisingly, with it being the first weekend of the first month of the first year,
Yeah.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I want to say by far it's spectacular just because a good friend of mine reached out to me wanting to go hiking
Oh, cool.
sporadically.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm down, I'm game. And we hiked up Orson Smith Park
Oh,
to
okay.
the suspension bridge.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was snowing,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
Yeah. Interesting time to kind of year to, be hiking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Currently, what are some goals you have set for this year?
Oh, the goals that I have set for this year is just really growing, expanding my knowledge within my hobbies, such as cosmetology,
Yeah.
going to beauty school, getting those gains, the bag,
Yeah.
improving my health,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I feel like it's a good goal. Have like something in mind, personal and healthy is like so difficult. I feel like for everyone, it like goes in waves. Or like, I'm strict. I can only eat this, and then I'm exercising, and then other times I'm like, I don't know. Why do I care?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Healthy to me is constant movement,
Yeah.
whether it's big or small. If it's walking in the park or on the elliptical, doing the stairs at the gym,
Yeah.
something, as long as I'm moving my body, I feel to me is healthy that way.
Nice.
And then it'll domino effect to eating healthier. My relationship with food is, I want to say, a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I can be like too heavy on like snacking. I'm like the meme from an anime. Like I love snacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So slowly cutting down on that and even changing it to like healthier snacks like carrots, broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good pivot.
It's like hard at times when you're like, I just want something salt or sweet. Like,
it's so hard.
then you're like, I guess I'll settle for a carrot or some broccoli. That's how I feel lately. Like waking up to exercise and eat healthier makes me feel better. Like
That's true.
I've done this so many times, but I just get late. It's more about just like laziness. I'm just like, as long as I'm eating something, I guess. Now I'm like choosing what stuff I eat and how, like, times of day, in the morning, the afternoon, and at night, to not feel so like bloated or eating. What I was doing is eating one meal, like one large meal for lunch, and then just being like,
oh my gosh.
I'll eat tomorrow. Sometimes I like would forget to eat dinner. And just like
dinner's vital.
Yeah. And the next day I would just be like, I just got to make it to lunch. I'm like hungry, but like I'll just have some coffee or I'll just drink some water. So changing and shifting some of that stuff for myself this year of actually listening to my body and being like, no, like you shouldn't want salty or sweet foods at 10 a.m.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
I want a burger.
Yeah.
A burger, a solid burger and fries at 10 a.m. Yes, please. No, probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. What drives you to get up every morning?
Ooh. That one, I want to say it's living for myself. Before then, it was just for people.
Yeah.
For my mom. Because she depends so much on me, whether it's like helping with the bills or looking over documents and all that stuff. And it made me feel very like useful, but it kind of had a little set void too, because I was like, well, what about me?
Yeah.
What do I have left in that sense? And I do have a tendency just to kind of look on the dark side in a sense of like, if I don't wake up the next day, that's fine. But now I'm just like, no, I have this body that I haven't broken a bone in my body.
Yeah.
Type of a thing. And just going out and adventuring. It's like the small bubble, and it's like, wait, there's a bigger bubble in the world.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's just a vast ocean. I don't know where a bubble turned into an ocean, but it
Yeah.
makes sense in my head.
Yeah, I get you. It's weird because like when you're so caught up in your own bubble, it's safe, it's comfortable,
Yeah.
and then like inviting people into that bubble can feel like uncomfortable at times. So you're just like,
uncomfortable.
what do I do? It's like reteaching yourself how to be comfortable with more, or like being okay with less at times when you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do what I would normally do in this situation. So just like adapting can feel weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
yeah.
Ugh.
I was talking before you got here. I had Mika and Dave, so I was
Did
talking to
you
them.
know?
Yeah, I was talking to them for like about mostly the same stuff. Just asking relationship questions to them, which was interesting. Now that they have a kid, it's like whole life's changed. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like the whole purpose of this whole thing is kind of like a timepiece of what exists now and what will happen in the future, 5 years, 10 years, of how much a person can change, like how much I've changed, how much they've changed. I'm sure how much you've changed, and being able to look back and have something I can listen to and watch. I enjoy that. Like more recently watched YouTube videos from like 2011.
Ooh.
It feels so strange. I'm like, man, like music and topics and stuff of YouTubers, like what was going on at that time. I'm like, man, it's like nostalgia.
It is nostalgia. I agree with that. I like how the way you're putting it all together and piecing this project. It's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
So,
Like somewhere down the road. I was talking actually yesterday with Taylor and Randy, because for Randy's birthday.
oh, yes, yes.
Just if anything happens in life, like we all are always there for each other. And it's nice to just catch up like it was yesterday since I've seen them. But if anything happens in life, like what if I die tomorrow? What if my friends died? Like, what do I have? Something tangible to remember. Like, I think with my family and stuff, it feels weird when knowing no one lives forever. All the people you want
That's
to be
true.
there
Yeah.
through all of your success and, you know, all the hard parts. I just feel bad not taking more pictures or not having stuff for myself. I relied heavily too much on my family to do that part. And now that I look back, I'm like, I should have just did it. Like, I would stop myself from doing something, be like, why? Or someone else will do it. I'm like, no, I have control. I'm just going to do it because I want to do it just for myself.
Yes, sir. I like to look at it as like a little blip in that current time and space and moment, being in that present. Because I surely wish we had the mindset and mentality of like cognitive memory where it's like, oh yeah, I just remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I wish I could remember the exact details or the exact words of the discussions I was talking with friends and family. And by having just like either a small photo, a video, it can just summarize that whole feeling, the emotions of how it was in that moment.
Like,
so,
pictures are great. You're like, man, that was so much fun. But having a video, you're like watching it play out and be like, wow, that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Like, I still have videos and stuff of when me, Michael, and Taylor moved in, and it's like it's really fun to watch.
You guys
just
were
like
so young.
yeah,
I'm sure.
we were so silly. Like, just the stuff that we would come up. Like, we didn't have a whole lot of things here, so we were making the most of nothing, and that was a lot of fun to like revisit and watch. But I do plan on doing like this with Taylor in a couple weeks and stuff with my family to talk about the good times and the bad times and just life in general. And everyone has different interactions with like one-on-one versus more people.
Group settings.
Yeah. So like eventually this will turn into more of my friends together to talk about stuff, like how we are collectively. We all like the same stuff, but you know, I feel like I'm different with my family versus different with you or different with Randy and Taylor. Just the stuff we bring up and talk about, like life in general, or you know, there isn't any blueprint of what you should be doing in life. You kind of just like, well, I guess I'm doing that today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, actually. Well, no, very well said. And I think what was really nice that you mentioned one-on-ones. Some people can find it really intimidating because
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my gosh, like the spotlight's on me. How do I react? How do I be? It's just like, no, be who you want to be.
Yeah.
Just be authentic and true. Or if you want to mask it up, but just
Yeah.
be the best, do it of the best of your abilities, right?
Yeah.
I know for a fact my weak point is group settings, conversation, because everything's going on so much.
Yeah.
There's so much conversation here and there. And I'm the type of person, I like to read the room, feel it out, and also just listen in.
Yeah.
Because I'm a great listener. Not so much of a talker. My throat chakra.
Yeah. That's me too.
Yeah.
I like tell people I'm like a fly on the wall. I like to observe and just listen.
Yeah.
Because I like, everyone has their own opinions and thoughts. And like, I know from my perspective, but it's weird to be open and honest with stuff as it comes along. Because I think most people don't know a lot about me besides just being a good friend and being there for people when I can. But having something like this is like, gets me out of my comfort zone of like these questions I ask, what I ask myself and my thoughts about it. And some of them are hard, but some of them are good. Some of them are silly. So next one is, do you have a childhood memory that brings you happiness?
Oh, I would say it was when, I don't know what dinosaur park, somewhere in Utah. It was a family trip. And my dad was alive at the time. And he was carrying me, and my brother. My sister wasn't born yet. But I legitimately thought dinosaurs were real.
Hell yeah.
I thought they were real. They made sounds, the animatronic movements. It was hilarious.
I love it. That's awesome.
And just to kind of see my dad so excited, he's like, yeah, that's a real dinosaur. And I was scared because he was like offering me up to the dinosaur. I was like, I'm not like Simba as a sacrifice, you know, like, come on.
That's funny.
So to kind of grow up and have that fond memory of my dad like teasing me, making fun of me, and to look at it now, it's like I've grown respect to love dinosaurs, and even Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like, holds dear to my heart because my dad loved Jurassic Park. So.
Yeah. There's like a part of, I feel like being a kid, the wonder you experience.
Yeah.
Everything you feel and see is new. You don't know anything about it. You're just like, that's a dinosaur. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's me too. Like seeing dinosaurs is one of those things takes me back, like watching Jurassic Park and stuff. And
Yeah.
a lot of that imagination of like, what if dinosaurs were real right now at this very moment? What would that be like to ride a dinosaur?
Can we like co-create with one of each other, or are we going to be hunting each other down? Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows, right? Coexist or enemies.
Yep.
That's funny. Let's see. What are some of your hobbies and how did you get into them?
I have a endless amount of hobbies. I like to do ecstatic dance. That one's really new. Started off when I was small, but yeah, just wanted to become a ballerina. Growing up, not like teenage years, not so much, but growing older, ecstatic dance, free forming dance, improv, it's really nice. I do enjoy going to music festivals.
Yeah.
Like EDC.
Yeah.
Music festivals, concerts, those are some good hobbies. I enjoy crafting. Making anything with my two bare hands, whether it's like fluid art, drawing, doodling. Let's see. I do want to like dabble into like punch needling.
Oh, okay.
And, like
yeah,
making like rugs and stuff
Yeah.
like that, little coasters.
Yeah.
And like clay art too. I want to
Yeah.
get into that.
That's cool. I think stuff with your hands is so helpful with like learning, like attaching memories of doing stuff. Like I learn best with my hands. If I'm doing something hands-on, I pick it up, or like versus reading something, like just doesn't compute. Have to either watch someone do it or do it myself in order for me to like fire those neurons and be like, that's how you do that.
I feel you on that. Yeah. Even coloring hair too, like painting. I enjoy like watercolor painting, cutting, coloring hair, anything hands-on. I'm all for it. So
tying to that similar theme, what skills are you most proud of that you have?
I want to say it's anything within the cosmetology realm. People think it's like really like, oh, it's just hair cutting and coloring. It's like it's really more to that. The industry is bigger than it really is.
Yeah.
From even extensions or being certified like color specialists
Mm-hmm.
and learning the color wheel. I never realized how strongly I've appreciated the color wheel when you know you can cancel out a color using one other color. You
Yeah.
never think that, right?
I recently learned that like not too long ago about like yellow and like using purple to cancel it out. It's like that makes sense like when you
Yeah.
think about it, but
Yeah.
not something I would innately think about like, well, you just do this and you get that as the end result. So I think
True.
that stuff's really cool. It's all like things, skills, and people make it look easy until
Yup.
you apply it yourself. You're like, holy shit, that's hard. So
Yes.
I think it's cool that like when you watch someone good at something, they make it look so easy. And then when you're like, all right, now your turn, you're like, I look stupid.
It's intimidating. It's
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah. But I think talking to someone that is in some professional of whatever it is, and then them talking and coaching you through feels nice because you're like wanting to receive as much knowledge as you can. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
at some point you'll be that person, then passing that knowledge on to someone else. And that feels like full circle, like skills and stuff you learn.
Yep. Very first. Full circle. Gosh.
What subjects, current events, do you feel passionate about?
Ooh. Traveling, really. Having the experience to travel outside of the country to Japan as of last year in November, to travel abroad for school,
Yeah.
cosmetology, my passion, and to see the industry in Japan, the culture, the art, the food, all of it, just being there,
Nice.
it makes me want to see what other countries, what
Yeah.
opportunities they have, whether it's within hair or not. I just want to go see.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting how cultures and like traditions are all so different, vastly different
Absolutely.
around the whole world. And it's really cool that like there's a mixture of stuff at this point now. Like things that existed a long time ago were kind of segregated to where you were living in that part of the world. And now people are inspired from every walks of life and putting it kind of like a mishmash of things together. I think it's really cool.
Oh yeah, and how it's like brother, sister, cousin, like yeah, what you said. Yes. Picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that.
Yeah. Have you watched any movies or read any books that left any lasting impressions on you?
I want to say it's Fern. I think it's an anime. She's a white elf, and her party, she just lives forever. You know, like the lifespan of an elf is much more longer than an average human. So for her just to live as long and see the people, her loved ones, kind of come and go and even pass, it's just astonishing because what kept her going and just being herself is like her hobbies. Like
Yeah.
she would go through all these like missions and all that stuff, and her reward is her books.
Yeah.
So to see that, it made me think of like self-development and being as curious as much as you can be and being open-minded.
Yeah.
So that's what I adopted from that anime.
Nice.
I just finished it. 28 episodes.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
loved it. No
That's
regrets.
awesome. Yeah. I think that's like one of those things that most people don't think about, I guess, depending on if you watch anime or not, what it applies to for yourself. A lot of it has like a good message. Most anime feels good to watch.
Oh yeah.
Like slice of life or watching someone get stronger and you're like, I can do that too.
Character development.
Yeah.
All for it.
Yeah. I think that more people should watch anime, like just regularly. Like I think it's fun.
Absolutely, yeah. What's really like grateful too from where we've come, the years and the spans of like manga and anime, it's just growing so like mainstream. It's nice because it gives it that like platform for other people, let's say, who don't have the social skills
Yeah.
like any other person. And by watching the anime and getting that social skill and then using it outside,
Yeah. I feel like
it's powerful.
Exactly. I feel like it's one of those things that when you're a kid, you don't really know anything and you just want to fit in. And then watching cartoons or, things that you enjoy, the social aspect of like, hey, you like that cartoon? I like that cartoon. And growing up with that, and like me personally, when I was around like 12 or 13, not really knowing where I fit in, I still enjoyed video games, cartoons, and I felt like some boys my age were trying to like get into girls and cars and stuff, and I was like, I don't align with any of that.
Right?
So I just like stuck to myself, and I feel like it's helping kids, I feel like today, feel comfortable with just being themselves. So that feels nice. Who do you look up to and why?
That's like the best question ever, and it warms my heart every time I speak about her. I want to say it's my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is just the true embodiment of a sweetheart. She wears her heart over on her sleeve. That saying.
Yeah.
To be able to give back to the community while also being a independent woman who provides food on the table for her 3 kids is just miraculous. To see how strong she is while also being emotionally intelligent too, and just kind of teaching that to her children, I'm just so thankful for it.
I love that.
Because it teaches me to be open-minded, that everyone and anyone, they're different. We all walk on the same planet, same world, but we have different characteristics. And if you take the time and moment just to really see who they are, you don't know what you're going to find out. It's just going to
I
mind-blowing.
I feel like good life lesson to have is to accept people for who they are, because we're all here together. I feel like somewhere along the line we all got lost of not caring for your neighbor or just each other, and it's kind of sad to know that that's kind of just not something people think about now.
That's true.
Like why I hold on to my friends so close. I'm like, everyone cares about each other, and it's not fake. We all want to be there as much as we can for each other. But
genuinely so.
Yeah, getting older is hard. Like there's so much they don't teach you about like life in itself. Like your friends are just gonna go their separate ways, and everyone is just doing their best, and you hope to see them at some point.
Yep.
And like for me, it's been hard to see a lot of that stuff change, and like I just wish them the best, and I hope to see them again. But also knowing that everyone's always like a phone call away. That's if they're not busy. Some people are just like busy people. And I understand, like it's hard because at any point something could change with friendships and stuff, or losing friendships, and that's hard in itself.
Oh yes.
Walking away from long friendships of years and
yeah, don't get me started on that. I've walked away on, I want to say, 2 friendships. One, actually, a friendship walked away on, my friend walked away from me, which is totally understandable, but it's just the fact that like her life's chapter and my life chapter, we were on 2 different pages.
Yeah.
So if we weren't going to serve each other's purposes, like why keep it around?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we still have that genuine love and respect, but it's just not going to be like, hey, let's hang out this next day type of a thing.
Like never the same after that. Yeah. It's hard to like change in that aspect of what used to be normal is no longer normal. Like just to go out and have fun and not have a care in the world. Now it's like different, and finding that middle ground with your friendships and deciding, is this something we can continue to do or not, and just being okay with it.
I love that you say that. I've actually read in a book somewhere is you want to love, nurture, and just kind of keep your friendships like it's an actual relationship with a partner,
Yeah.
you know? But while also setting boundaries too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
sometimes, like, people and boundaries is like, what boundaries?
Yeah, yeah. They get so used to too comfortable at times.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that look like? Or being able to have those conversations with the friend. Be like, something doesn't feel right and I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And how they react to like either concern or just like blowing it off like, I don't care. Like, that sounds like a you problem. That's not my problem to deal with.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, okay.
And walking away from friendships, but also the ones that you want to stick around, we'll walk through with you of like, man, this is uncomfortable. Can we make it more comfortable? And knowing those are the right people in your life that want to have those hard conversations and respect each other, and then go back to normal. Be like, well, let's go do something silly.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. What would you say is an achievement that you think about? Like, what's your most cherished achievement in life so far?
My cherished achievement was really just like graduating high school, but not with my class. Because that's when I kind of knew I don't know. Ever since I was little, it was kind of like I've always felt like the black sheep. The black sheep, the ugly duckling, like anything from old folklore stories is just like you are just the lone wolf.
Yeah.
So to kind of not graduate with my class, yes, I was sad, but to know that I was doing it for myself, to finish school, to then like get a job or set a career and walk to get my diploma on my own agenda for my own purpose, that was an accomplishment.
I love that.
And thankful for the pictures, to look back and I was like, dang, like those were the friends and family who really stood alongside me to support me, even though I was kind of doing this all alone for myself.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're cheering here on the sideline. So I was like, oh, so just a good pat on the back.
Yeah.
Of an achievement.
I love that. It's hard to go through stuff kind of alone because no one's telling you what to do, but deep inside you're like, I need this more for myself.
Yeah.
Like self-validation of like, I am smarter than I think I am, or these tasks or accomplishments seem unrealistic until I take that first step.
Yes.
And then once you're there at the finish line, you're like, hell yeah, I knew I could do it. I knew I was badass. I could do anything. But it's hard to get there.
It is.
Because there's so much like self-doubt that we all experience and pushing through that. But it's always worth it in the end. Like taking that gamble on yourself, and when it pays off, you're like, fuck yeah.
I'm on top of the world.
Yeah. I think it's fun, like, to revisit and think about stuff. Like for me personally, I have had a lot of ideas that I've started at least once in one point in my life. Like, I don't know if I want to continue this or not. Maybe I'll revisit it in a different way. And what does that look like now for me? Think about like the accomplishments I've had with like my running or stuff with video games.
Which is so killer. Oh my gosh. From your game systems and even accomplishing that run. I can't even run.
I think for me, it was always like, I was talking to Mika about it, that when we accomplish stuff, it almost feels like just a check off a list of things to do. I have a hard time celebrating my own success at times. And that feels bad because I'm like, I want to feel good about the stuff I've done. But it just feels like I've worked so hard, I accomplished it. Well, now what? I got to figure out, how do I fill this void? And thinking about like, why do I feel that way? And I think it's just like not celebrating myself. I've kind of denied myself a lot of these things because I just didn't like feel like it was worth it, or taking that chance on myself and doing stuff. Like, I know I'm capable.
Yeah.
But at times I'm like, I don't know, like whatever. Then
the fruit of your labor.
Yeah. Like, I think about my success with where I'm at with my job and how hard I put my heart and soul into it and where I'm at now and being like, holy shit, I did that. It didn't just happen. And like, now how do I bottle up that feeling at work into my personal stuff? Like,
Ooh.
my life in the office, I serve to help people in a way that feel like I find value. But now I need to take that feeling and apply it to myself. How do I make me happy? What do I want to do for myself? And looking at a list of things previously, be like, I should revisit those things.
Yeah.
I should try it again. Why not? Like, it's not going to harm me any. I just want to work on the things that I didn't actually get to enjoy and start over and be like, when I get there, I want to celebrate. I want to live in that moment and not just
pause.
Yeah. So that's like kind of my goal of the stuff I'm doing, like stuff with this. It feels, at one point I wanted to do it every year or every couple years. I did it, I think it was like sometime in 2021 or 2022. But I had the idea before that. I just like, I don't know, like, why do I want this?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter. And then I would just walk away from it. And that hurt myself of like, why do I keep convincing myself not to do something? And like, I don't know. I don't have time to think about this. I'll do something else. I'll do something that will make me feel better.
Denying that opportunity of that path, basically.
Yeah.
It's an unknown path. And then just to kind of revert to the comfortness of like, no, I'll just put it off to the next time. When is the next time?
Yeah.
And then it's
another
like,
year goes by and you're like, fuck.
yeah. And when you mention like projects or things on the back burner, like how would you kind of go about that, like reviewing it and reflecting it? Is it like jotted or
yeah, I have like
somewhere?
my journals. Like, it helps me understand myself better than I think. I write in it when I'm feeling good. I write when I'm feeling like shit. If something happens to me in life, or even if I have like questions about the situation, if something happened to me, how will I know to stick up for myself, or the right question to ask if something bothers me? Because then it'll just fester in my head, and then it won't go anywhere.
It won't.
So I try to do my best to write that stuff down and keep a log of what I find value in the stuff that I write, and
right on.
take from that and apply it for the future of like, this works, this doesn't work. What can I do a little bit better? And so much of that has evolved and changed over the last couple of years that I finally feel like it's all coming together. It's all making sense now.
Wow.
And I feel like the parts of me that I didn't like, I've acknowledged, I've lived in it, I've understood why I felt the way I did. Now I don't want to relive those experiences or live in it. That I want to do better, like kind of start over in my own life and take all the good parts that I love about myself and my friendships and my family, and continue to apply those things. Everything previously that have hurt me, or if I've hurt others, I feel like I obsess about it. I'm like, I've hurt someone. I did that, and I want to make things better. I don't always want to be that person. Or where is that hurt coming from? Something's unresolved. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, what's the root cause of it?
Yeah. And a lot of that is coming to terms with stuff that happened to me growing up and how people have treated me. It was like almost like a cycle of doing my best and the things I love about me, but still getting treated like shit at times. And then I just felt like, well, might as well join the club. Might as well hurt others because others have hurt me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, you you can be hurt by people, but you can also apply that hurt and help someone along their journey. It doesn't have to be outwardly hurting others, because it doesn't make me feel good. And it's like it goes against everything that I would normally do, and I don't like that feeling. So I continually want to be better than I was yesterday, and then continue to hold the things that are helpful and caring about me moving forward.
Wow.
And like 5-10 years, I'll feel happier knowing I've done everything I could in my life to be that person I want to be. Future me is like living a happy life and full of success.
Heck yeah.
And I can see and feel that direction and being drawn to that instead of this like previous part of me that was so focused on like the things I couldn't change or had no control over. But I had to learn from it. And that's like, what's the hard part is only you can apply what you know, and only you know the hurt that you've gone through. No one else knows about it.
Oh, yeah.
And having to face it kind of in your own way. Like not everyone feels that or wants that. And you're kind of looking out for your best.
Yep.
For who you.
Yeah, that's true. I like to think like we are our own internal therapist if we choose to, listening to our internal voices. And that's really grateful and like badass that you kept a log, because it's a log of your previous self in that moment, in that time and space, and how he was feeling and how he was reacting. And to then read it now, it's like, whoa, that growth, that change. And it almost gives that more respect to you, you know, like puff up your chest, like walk with pride.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going through the hard parts now so you don't have to later.
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, holy shit. Thank you. Like, wow, I did that.
It was all you.
Yeah. But it was nice to like read about it and then to see the change from talking negatively about myself and then positive affirmations.
Ooh.
Every morning. Like I have a thing on my mirror in my room that I look at, and
same.
Like I keep doing that to believe it. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't believe it. It's just whatever. It's just words.
Bullshittery.
Yeah.
No, you think, but that's not the case.
You're not fooling yourself now. You're starting to believe it. So it's that repetition of what I, enough times will change for anyone. And I feel like I'm better now because of the time and effort I spent trying to be a better person. And that's hard because you're like, you have to acknowledge everything, all the things you've done wrong for yourself and for others. Because we're all human. We all make mistakes. But at the same time, like, if you're doing it continuously, then it's a pattern. Then you got to fix something.
There's clearly a problem, an underlying problem.
Yeah. Shifting the tone of everything. I got some fun or silly questions that just conversation. If you could eat one food every day, what would it be?
Oh, that's so hard because I love food in general.
It's difficult.
Oh, it is difficult. I want to say it would be like pan-fried noodles, like pad thai, because because there's a lot that goes into it, and I can like take away and remove and change it up, but while still having it be the same dish.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So the easy answer for me is pizza.
Oh.
Yeah, I always add toppings, but I'm just like, easy enough. Just cheese, marinara, dough. Simple enough, but you can always add more.
If you want bacon, you can throw that bacon on there.
Yeah, throw some bacon on that bitch.
Jalapeno.
Yeah. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Ooh, I like this question a lot. I want to say, so the 3 people, one is Frida Kahlo. She was a revolutionary, like in her time, age, and era, to accept her divine and masculine and feminine and art, just her vision. I just want to know like how it became to be. Like, what do you think of Frida? Tell me.
It's weird seeing like people in those times and periods that are well known, and like it's always in hindsight or looking after the fact when they were big of like, what is it like to live with someone during that period? Ask them questions. It's curious minds.
Yeah, so Frida Kahlo's one. The second one would be, I want to say Cleopatra. Just to like Egypt back then, and to kind of like rule at that time frame while also like yeah, her beauty is also very captivating too. So I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Thinking of beauty standards long
Mm-hmm.
time ago.
Yeah, to be a pharaoh at one point, but then also the downfall of like with I want to say was it Rome? My
Yeah,
history is
I'm
really
not too sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
my
my world
history's pretty
history.
bad.
Yeah. I'm
But
just
she
like,
had some love affairs,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
there was Caesar in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But I
Hell
was just
yeah.
like, ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah.
How did you do
Yeah.
that?
I love that.
um, I want to say my last one would be more on the entertainment purposes, but it would be like Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, I admire her like her beauty while also like doing humanitarian work too, also, and just kind of like falling upon the roles of just being an amazing actress because I've always find acting very interesting
Yeah.
and like to take on those roles.
Yeah.
It's just
I think it's really interesting with like film and actors of you associate the person with the stuff that's going on, and to see someone act as the character, that's so crazy, like that, it's not them, but then like that's how you tell good acting.
yeah.
If someone's a good villain, you're like, man, I hate that person.
Oh yeah.
I think it's really cool to just be someone else. um let's see, another, if you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
Oh, that's so scary, so spooky. I would, because I know it would like spook me. Is like when they're taking a shower and just writing on the fog mirror, because then I know I can just like write it word for word, and it won't take that much effort either.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to like move an actual glass and like,
Yeah.
and like there's nothing. It's like who's that? But
I love that. I like I was talking to Meek and Dave. Dave said that to do something like annoying enough to someone, like if you were to haunt someone, changing the location of an item in their house to like,
yeah,
it'd be funny to take someone's phone every night and put it somewhere random.
oh god,
so they'd have to go find it, which I think would be funny. Or like to trip someone, I think would be like if someone was going up the stairs to like hold their foot.
Oh yeah,
just to
I can
be, like,
see that.
Annoying enough would be funny as a ghost. If you were to be any hero or villain, who would you be?
I want to say I want to be a villain.
Yeah, that's what I say.
That's what you said too?
Yeah.
Because I just want to know what it feels like.
Yeah.
And to see like how much trauma you've withstand and you just kind of like gave. Or also, what's the other one? Like Harley Quinn, she's like good and bad.
Mm-hmm. Like an anti-hero.
Anti-hero.
Yeah.
Because I can pivot between the two. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But since that's not in the equation, I want to be a villain.
Yeah. Because like I feel like my friendships, everyone are all good people. Mm-hmm. But to be like dive into a villain, you're just like, I'm just gonna fuck shit up. I am just out for
with
blood.
No repercussions.
Yeah. I want to scheme and put a plan together.
Yep.
Rob a bank or something. Like,
Yep.
I think it would be fun
Rule
to just do
the
that.
world.
Yeah, just to see what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing most people don't know about you?
Oh, that's hard because I feel like I am an open book, but at the same time, I'm not. I do like to sing in the comfort of my living room and just blast on Spotify the lyrics thing or just YouTube it.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, I sing out in public rarely.
Yeah. To save everyone, I'm the same way. Like usually I have every morning I listen to music in the shower. It's just like part of my normal routine. It has been that way for so long. I can't. It feels weird if I don't have music playing when I'm in the shower.
Right?
It's like I hear everything. I don't like this. Kind of drown out my morning thoughts. Get my day started. I feel like it sets the tone for the day.
It does.
Just to like whatever I'm listening to, I feel good. Let's see. What's the biggest leap of faith you've taken?
Going to cosmetology school, really, because I kind of like grew up just really telling me what to do.
Okay.
Telling me like, you need to go to the medical field, or you need to be a doctor, a nurse, or go into manufacturing. Just kind of like everyone had this idea and belief of me going into that, and I tried it, but it also just never fit. Like the puzzle never fit into that piece where they wanted me. So taking cosmetology into my own hands, the passion, the drive there, and also the people who are very doubtful, because there are some that are just like, you'll never make it, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, watch me.
Yeah, I love
the
that.
pandemic got me though.
Yeah.
I'll give that a point. But other than that, people, I'd be like, no, shh,
yeah,
not today.
Yeah. See me when I'm successful.
Yeah.
See me then.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do you have a favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject in school would be color theory. So the color wheel and stuff like that. And kind of seeing chemical work too, because you're also kind of like a chemist.
Yeah.
If you don't mix the right amount of product, that hair is going to fall apart, like melt into gum. And really just also having a good consultation. And consultation is just getting the understanding of the person's lifestyle, hair, texture, all of that. So
that's cool. I like that. Did you ever have a crush on a cartoon character?
Oh. I have many.
I love it.
Let's see. I want to say, if we're gonna go back, it would be like Vegeta. Yeah. His short kingness, but how badass he was at the same time. Like, he knew what he wanted. He had goals in mind. And to like get Bulma as his wife.
He knew what it was about.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had everything lined up. And has like a good looking son too. So all wins.
All wins. I love that. That's a good answer. I think for me, I was trying to think back when I was telling Mika. First one, Snow White.
Oh.
Just as a kid. And then a random one would be Roxanne from a Goofy movie.
Oh my gosh. She is bae. Just, how the way she like carries herself.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And then for anime, it would be Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop.
Faye Valentine.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Dang, if we were really going on that, I would have just went on and on and on.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep going if you want. No, I'm not going to stop yet.
No, we'll keep it at Vegeta.
Keep it at Vegeta.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT, yeah. How do you like to be comforted when you're sad or upset?
Aww. That's a really good question. I want to say like a genuine like hug, heart to heart hug, not like the pat there or just like a half-ass hug. I want like a good like bear hug. Yeah. And then just to like look at my eyes.
Yeah. I love it.
Look into my eyes.
Squeeze me hard and look in my eyes.
Tell me everything's gonna be okay. But no, it's like it's just kind of holding space. From there, it's like it sets the tone of like, this is a safe space. Like, what's going on in your mind? What can I do of service just to kind of ease it? So by giving that, I'll be an open book and be like, ah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's different. It's nice to know about that, like with my friends. What does friendship mean to you?
Friendship to me means Sailor Moon and My Little Pony.
Yeah.
That's a full definition.
Yeah, that's a good friendship right there. Yeah. Have your back.
Yup.
I love it. What's the biggest lesson your last relationship taught you?
It's to really like make sure to keep your cup full and put yourself first before you put others, because sometimes not everyone is going to have your back and give you the love that you need or that validation type of a thing. I come from a little tendency of people pleasing. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So to have that like door shut on me, it just gave me that realization that I really gotta have my back and love me for who I am. And if that person isn't gonna be there for me and for what my growth as a character is, then why be there?
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah.
I like that.
Love yourself.
Yeah. Love yourself. Who was someone you wish you could apologize to?
I don't know. Because usually I am the first one to apologize. I would want to say I want to apologize to my grandma. Yeah. Universe rest her soul. But she was a baddie. She is a baddie, but a grumpy grandma that's like not the sweet granny who'll give you pieces of candy. Like, no, she will chop your head off if she could. But her cooking was just, she showed her love through her cooking. And I want to apologize to her, just to wish I took more time to conversate with her, to really see who she is other than the idea of just a grandma.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's interesting. I like that. Do you have a favorite travel story?
I want to say it was a time I went to Cambodia, and the culture shock of my family, between my mom and my dad. My dad's like country boy. My mom's from the city side. And to see like both families like coexisting but yet not at the same time is interesting, because cities all hustle and bustle, and you got farmlands growing rice paddies, riding oxen. That was just fun.
Nice. Let's see. I think we're getting close to the finish of the list. What do you consider your best physical feature?
I want to say it is my butt, because I'm working well on it. And I'm all like looking at the mirror. I'm like, hey.
I'm doing good.
Good assets.
Yeah, good assets. That's funny. What do you do when no one's around?
When no one's around, I would put on like random music on like Spotify Shuffle. Anything could intrigue me, and then just like dance around naked. I'm all like, let all hang loose.
Yeah.
Because some people just don't do that. I'm all like, you know what?
That's like me in the morning, just like from the shower to my room. Like I just have my towel and let loose. I'm just like get my day started. Just be free. I think it's good for your soul to just be free with yourself. Last couple questions.
Yeah.
How can I be a better friend to you?
Oh, I want to say you've been like the most exceptional, but even better growing friend. I don't have any like constructive feedback.
That's okay.
Yeah. Because who you are currently to me, and just like us reconnecting, I think, when you like reconnected, reached out to me, I was just like taken aback, but also like gave more respect to you, because I was like, dang, like he values our connection. You value our connection. I was like, why am I talking? Yeah, like you value our connection, and to see that, it just made me happy. To also like talk on the daily from like random topics, and the sense of like respect and value, like to give value into the friendship, that makes me feel like I can give value into our friendship.
Like I think the respect we have for each other of being honest about whatever goes on. I think the friendships that are hard are when you don't want to talk about stuff and you kind of just ignore it, and then I feel like that only creates kind of a weird imbalance of, we can only talk about these things, and then that's it. And then you just like, okay.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Last question. So the whole purpose and goal with why I want to have this with every person moving forward is another thing. A continuation is you can ask, if you could ask the next person I'm talking to a question, what would it be?
Oh. Ooh, this is really cool. I want to like be like a little wild card.
You want to know what Mika's?
Yes.
You want me to ask you the one she had?
Yeah.
What color's your underwear?
Pink.
Nice.
I was actually gonna go somewhere around that like area too.
That's funny.
Let's see. Can I like do a Google question?
Sure, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Get your mind thinking.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me? Like,
Yes, I actually do.
All right, feel free while you're thinking.
Yes. The question for you is, with the 3 people who have like passed and stuff like that, like who would you have dinner with and why?
Man, it changes, I feel like, depending on the person. But even for myself, I want the first one to be a comedian. Like either Robin Williams, Bo Burnham. I think I would like to talk to Jerry Seinfeld just because of like how high profile he is.
Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle would be really cool.
Dave Chappelle, yes.
So I think a comedian of some caliber would be really interesting for me to like know how they are as a person, like good at comedy, and that comes from somewhere like either pain or stuff that I think about. And like how I express myself is through laughing and making jokes, like dark humor, but knowing my audience, I wouldn't say some shit around some people.
It's like, did you really say that?
Yeah. Oh. But I think for me, joking about like my own demise of like the inevitable or my own existential crisis, I feel at times. But I like to laugh about things even in danger. I'm just like, it's absurd. I might die. And then it's over.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me when we were at EDC and then with like, I think it was like Jeff with the Dos Equis.
Yeah.
And you both were so like drunk, gone by then. You were both.
Yeah.
Poor Sophia was like, that's a freaking cut.
Yeah. Someone take him to the hospital.
Yeah, mind you, like she's like a nurse in school at the time, or just in general in the medical field, and she's like, that needs to be looked at. And then these 2 guys just chuckling it along. I was like, yes.
Yeah, you got it. You do you, as long as you're okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'd say the second one, Abraham Lincoln. Just be something random, someone, that did a lot for people back then.
Oh yeah.
Like, I only think about how people are now, but I always am curious about those before us and how smart and forward thinking they were with stuff. And then probably from my last one would be, at some point in my family bloodline in history, I would like to meet just someone.
Whoa.
Like, are there certain traits about me that have existed in my whole bloodline, and what has changed from like generations? I think would be really cool. Like, you only know like your grandparents or your great grandparents, but what about the ones before them? What did they go through? I think would make for some interesting conversation. Like, what problems did they face and what stuff did they think about? Like, I feel like technology now has kind of helped people, but also done the worst parts of thinking for you as a person.
Totes a double-edged sword.
Yeah. And how weird would it be for them to experience someone from the future? So I think those would be my 3 would be great conversation for me.
I love that. I also noticed, like, with the comedians, you had a roster. I was like, dang, he's going on.
I would love it just because how I process thoughts and information, and I feel like they're good storytellers.
They are.
And like they put you in their shoes, whether it's good or bad. You're like, that's great, and there's a punchline at the end.
Yo.
So I don't know. I just respect their craft of what they're good at and the way they have a mixture of life experiences or just talking about things in life that are silly or absurd. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And back to my question. I guess, where would you travel to if you had an endless amount of funds, and why? Yeah. I love that you're doing this because, like, each person you're sitting with, you can even, like, change it up.
Yeah.
So it would be like, I heard a comedian, Abraham Lincoln, and an ancestor. And the next one could be like, it's an endless vast.
Yeah, I could switch it up.
You can switch it up if you choose to.
I guess the whole, like, consent of everything. If you want it out in public, I can do that. But this is more for just me to, like, hold on to. Totally up to you. Helping me with, like, the camera, which one's better than the other.
Oh, yeah.
I decided this one I enjoyed more with Mika and Dave because I was looking at the footage because I had it over here originally.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah. So I was kind of like testing where things look just to see. The part where it was over there had Dave's top of his head cut off, and I was like, I don't want to use that.
They're very tall.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that should be fine. And then looking back, I was like, damn it, I should have changed it. But having something like this, I just wanted to see which ones I enjoyed more. They have pros and cons to both.
Heck yeah.
So totally up to you. If you want it for yourself or if you want it to be watched by others, I could put it out there, but the whole goal will just be sit on my computer whenever I'm feeling sad or something to just go back and listen to it.
I'm very open-minded. Like, what we've discussed so far, I feel like it can help just about anyone who just comes across it and can relate to. So,
okay.
Yeah, you have my green light to post.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end it here. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.